entrepreneur and a businessman, many people in the opposition are saying, as well as, of course, experts who are conversant with the law in these matters, are saying that this law of exposing those guilty of stashing away illegal gains in Swiss banks has ended with a whimper. That's the big story we're going to focus on. Lots of breaking news. We also have a list. The list that the government has not revealed to you. We'll be putting that list out in just a few moments. But first, the headlines on the show. And that's the fundamental point. We're just going to go to the headlines. I don't believe that we can prompt them right now, but we'll come to those. But the fact of the matter is that that entire list of holders of ill-gotten wealth, and I'm making that distinction. This is ill-gotten wealth. This is not wealth that was avoided paying taxes on. This was ill-gotten wealth that was collected. It was ill-gotten wealth that was stashed away. That's the fundamental aspect of this. Let's just quickly take you through the basic story that we've built up. It began with a bang, and the opposition says it has ended with the proverbial whimper. The government today in the Supreme Court revealed with flourish only 3 names of India's biggest tax cheats. The government was responding to the Supreme Court directive, asking it, in fact, to come out with all the names of those that have amassed black money, ill-gotten wealth in foreign accounts, and all it could do really was to come up with 3 names. Just 3 basic names. The central government today filed an additional affidavit in the Supreme Court in the black money case, disclosing the names of 3 persons who have stashed away black money in foreign banks. The names revealed in the Supreme Court are Pradeep Burman, Pankaj Chimanlal, and Radha S. Timblo. While Burman is the former director of Dabur, Pankaj Chimanlal Lodia is a Rajkot-based bullion trader, and Radha S. Timbolo is a Goa-based miner. As I told you, here's a report that we put together.
The central government has again moved to the Supreme Court. This time they have filed an affidavit in the Supreme Court disclosing 3 names of the people who have stashed black money abroad. Interestingly, all 3 names are of businessmen and none of the politicians. So the big question still remains. Will the names of the politicians who have stashed black money abroad ever be made public? This is the big question, and Supreme Court will have to decide what should be the future course of action in this case. And as far as both sides are concerned, Ram Jethmalani's team is trying to pursue this case very aggressively. Rather, they have in fact made all the preparations. They are brainstorming because they want to convey to the court that the government is not serious, and they are trying to conceal the identities, and they want to protect these people who have stashed black money. On the other hand, the affidavit of the government states that they are in no way trying to conceal the identities of these people, and as and when the time is perfect for the disclosure of the names, these names will be made public. But we'll have to see how the Supreme Court will deal with this issue right now. This is Sumit Nagpal, NewsX, Delhi.
Well, lots of reactions coming in on this particular story ever since it was reported here on NewsX in the morning, ever since those names were disclosed via an affidavit in the Supreme Court. Several reactions coming in. Let's play them out.
I don't have to comment on anything that the government does, because the government must act lawfully and properly and must do something which does not appear to be politically motivated. We have no problem if the names come out. Under what conditionality and under what appropriate authority they have to do it, they know, but they must tell the country they're doing it under that.
Finance Minister said that Congress will be embarrassed if the names are public, but...
Am I looking embarrassed to you?
उन्होंने कहा था कि अगर हमने नाम रिलीज किए तो कांग्रेस को एम्बैरेसमेंट हो सकती है. अगर उनमें साहस है तो वो नाम उजागर करें. कांग्रेस पार्टी ने उसी समय तत्काल उन्हें चैलेंज किया था कि आप नाम उजागर करिए. इस तरह के भ्रामक प्रचार करना बंद करिए.
And please remember, in the UPA time also, then Finance Minister Pranab Sahab, then Chidambaram C had also said and told courts also that as and when we establish that there is black money in these accounts and that these accounts are illegal, we will prosecute and take action. And it's only when something is proved as wrong, can you reveal those names, which has happened in these 3 cases. In fact, these are 3 names that ultimately UPA government was prosecuting. Now, there are various other names. I'm surprised as to why all names are not coming out. And if that is the case, I don't know what the government is up to. So I think it should take people into confidence. And if you have evidence of wrongdoing by people, tell them to the courts.
Well, reactions coming in. The opposition, they're saying that this roar of bringing black money has been reduced to a whimper. Jaiveer Narasimha Rao, national spokesperson of the BJP, joins us. Jaiveer Shergill, spokesperson of the Congress, with us. Professor Madhav Nalapat, editorial director of the Sunday Guardian, with us. Also will be joined by others, other leading commentators, lawyers, journalists, investigative reporters, including those, of course, who are now politicians in the Aam Aadmi Party, who released a parallel list of their own saying, we told you 6 months ago, we told you 1 year back, we told you a year and a half ago, we told you 2 years ago. We brought out all the names. We brought out all, in fact, each one of the bank account details. We made it all public. Today, the Aam Aadmi Party stands vindicated, they claim. But they're also saying, along with the Aam Aadmi Party, the Congress, they're also saying, unfortunately, this is not taking things far enough. Mr. Jaiveer Narasimha Rao, why is the government not taking things far enough? Why don't we have a full disclosure? Pinaki Mishra, MP of the BJD, is also with us. So is M.R. Venkatesh, chartered accountant, well-known economist. I want to ask you straight off, Mr. Narasimha Rao, what about the 697 other names? And does the mere fact that only 3 have appeared mean that we've hit what many people say is a brick wall?
Rahul, I think your opening sentence was that the disclosure ended in a whimper. I think I would rather, if I were the editor of your channel, I would say this has just begun. And with all fireworks, it has begun with a bang. I think you never had, for the last 4 years, 3 years, the UPA government was simply sitting down, sitting on all these papers. It was not willing to do anything. It was only the NDA government that has begun the process in full earnest. And you have already 3 cases being filed in court, and the momentum is now gathering. Acha, only those cases where the account holders do not have the requisite explanations for keeping the money in the foreign accounts, I think they will be charged. You cannot charge people who have a genuine foreign account. It is not illegal. I think I would like you to be a little careful in
you're confusing two issues.
Paraphrasing your statement.
No, you're confusing 2 issues. You're confusing the issue of those individuals who have taken money aboard to avoid taxes with those that have taken money gathered through corrupt means and stuff them in Swiss bank accounts abroad.
Rahul, I think you are confused.
No, 1 second.
Rahul,
there is no DTT. No, 1 second. There is no DTT that overrules anyone from disclosing the names of those who have taken money through corrupt means and then parked it in Swiss bank accounts. This has been made clear by several legal luminaries. Correct me if I'm wrong, sir.
No, you're completely wrong.
Okay.
I think anybody in the media who is coming to this conclusion is completely wrong.
Okay.
Let me place the facts. Then you can comment on this.
Okay.
The facts are 700 odd names have been made available by the government of France, which has secured this list through some uncharitable means. But whatever means they are, we have got this from government. And then we have, except the names, there are no further details available. And all this has now been investigated, the charges are being filed, and only when you can establish, these are not necessarily illegal accounts. Don't come to the conclusion because there are 700 names, there are 700 illegal names, there are 700 illegal accounts. No, this is a process that has to be established, and that is being done.
I didn't make the commitment to the nation, sir, that the BJP or the NDA will bring the money back in 100 days. I think it was Mr. Rajnath Singh.
Fine, but no, we have not said 100 days. The government has not said 100 days.
Who in the run-up, no, 1 second, who put a deadline, a timeline, he said 100 days. I'm sure you were conversant with the facts because the BJP that was exposing them in the run-up to the elections. You brought out your own list of black money defaulters, etc. I don't know what happened. Mr. Mishra, just try to break this down for us. Do you believe today, are you one of those who say that this is not a black money list, but a blackmail list? There are several politicians in the opposition who are saying that this is a blackmail list. One of the reasons why no one wants to declare these names is because the bureaucrats and all politicians now in government don't want to give up their hold over these individuals. Therefore, we have an issue.
I don't think, this is going to be a blackmail list at all, for the simple reason this is now out of the hands of the political class or the bureaucratic class.
Okay.
This is now in the session of the Supreme Court of India, and we know that the Supreme Court, once it gets its teeth into something as vital as this, is not going to let it go. I think the Supreme Court has the buck between its teeth, as it were.
Okay.
And I don't think the Supreme Court will let go. Therefore, slowly but surely, I think it's the mills of God grind slowly, but they grind exceedingly small. I think all these names, as the BJP spokesperson is right, that it is not right that all 700 names are illegal names, but all the illegal names after investigation, that investigation might be a slightly slow process, but all the names after investigation which are illegal names are bound to come out in the public domain. May not happen today or tomorrow. Look, the 100 days promise, I think, was one of those typical election promises which are never meant to be kept. Those are promises made to be kept in the breach. We've seen in the past Mr. VP Singh has flashed an account number saying this is Mr. Gandhi's account number, late Mr. Rajiv Gandhi's account number, bring me to power and I will bring back all the money held in this account. Yes. It was absolute rubbish. I mean, both have passed away, so perhaps it may be uncharitable to talk about this, but the fact of the matter is that the most hallowed of figures during elections always tend to make these outlandish claims which are to be taken with a pinch of salt. But there is no question that nobody is going to be able to blackmail or not blackmail or whatever it is, because at the end of the day, all the names will come out if they are illegal account holders.
Okay, are you certain about that? Mr. Jaiveer Shergill, come in on this. Do you believe that a great start has been made? Ashish Khaitan has also joined us. I'm going to go across to him.
Absolutely.
Mr. Shergill, great start has been made. Would you agree?
Rahul, I want to make two points, one political and being a lawyer, a legal point as well. Number one, the disclosure, what has happened today is merely a piecemeal face-saving exercise to ward off the wrath of the media, the people of India, the opponents, especially the Congress, for its shaky, fluctuating and oscillating start. The reality is BJP has tied itself in a Gordian knot. On one hand is the tall claims, other are the political compulsions and the interests of those people who have funded them during elections. I was hearing my friend from the BJP regarding a big bang. Rahul, the proof is on 17th October, their affidavit says we cannot disclose any name. How did the Big Bang was born? Merely in 2-3 days where they were nudged by the court and were forced to reveal these names. Number 4, Rahul, today the bigger question is which legal hurdle is there which prohibits them from disclosing these names? I will tell you, earlier the reality was we didn't have information exchange agreements. We didn't have the treaties which facilitates the information retrieval. Today, all that is in place. 81 treaties, 14 new exchange agreements. Supreme Court has removed the hurdle of DTA, saying the national law is supreme over the DTAA. Today, the bigger question is their intent is not clear. The groundwork is ready, spade work is ready, SIT is there. They just have to act on it. They want to sit on their hands folded. And as far as now, again and again, they are taking a dig on the UPA. Rahul, please discount I'm a congressman, but when you compare the efforts of the UPA and the groundwork done, it's like comparing an elephant to the quail in the scales.
What are the efforts of the UPA? What are the efforts of the UPA? Can you make that point? I'm sorry. How do you qualify that?
I'll tell you, Rahul.
What have you done? Did you set up an SIT? No. Did you even reveal one name? No.
Yes.
Now you'll tell me that you persecuted.
No, Rahul, I'll qualify.
No, I'll tell you what you're going to say.
Rahul,
that we began persecutions against
30 seconds. Rahul, no.
Some 1,200 odd people.
No. Rahul, just give me 30 seconds. I'll make good my statement. Number one, Rahul, I'll make good my statement. Just give me 30 seconds. I don't ask for more time. Number one is any black money. There are two aspects. One is identification. One is retrieval of the names. And third is the retrieval of the actual money. These can only happen, and I emphasize only, if you have arrangements with other nations, we had the high-level committee, we had 81 tax treaties, we had 14 new information exchange, the Director General Income Tax was monitoring cross-border transactions worth 30,000 crore. Under the French DTAA, 369 crores were identified, 30 crores tax money was retrieved.
Okay.
So we were acting. If BJP has to start on all this paperwork, trust me, they'll take another 20 years with the pace they are working at.
Okay, we've got breaking news also coming in. Ashish Khaitan, you want to come in on this? Professor Nalapat, you want to come in on this? Ashish Khaitan?
Rahul, I completely agree with your assessment that this is not a black money list, but this is actually a blackmail list. And I will cite one instance. There is an ex-Congress MP called Anu Tandon, who was a director on a company called Motex Software, which was connected with Reliance Petroleum and was barred by SEBI for insider trading. Motex Software was found to be holding 2,000 crore rupees in an account with beneficiaries called Sandeep Tandon and Anu Tandon. Now, Sandeep Tandon was an officer of Reliance Group of Companies. Now, why is that company not on this list? You know what happened when income tax authorities went to Reliance and Anu Tandon asking that, do you know about anything about this company? They say, no, we don't know anything about this company, though the company's name is similar to ours, though the company's address is exactly similar to ours, though the company's directors are exactly similar to our directors, but we don't know anything about this 2,000 crore rupees. Now that's the problem. When the Prime Minister of India is going to hobnob and rub shoulders with Mukesh Ambani and Nita Ambani and Dhirubhai Ambani's sons, who all figure in this black money list, then how will you expect action? You cannot expect action from this government.
Has absolutely no scruples.
This is not politics,
they are facing defamation
this
from
is not politics.
They shoot and scoop politics of Aam Aadmi Party.
Oh, sir, you had
no credibility at all.
Shaking hands with Nita
Ambani at all.
You were shaking hands with Nita Ambani. Did you have any scruples?
Have no credibility.
Did you have any scruples when you took support from the NCP?
Rahul,
did you have any
no, one second, where is this going?
You have acted as
one second.
You were a Congress, you were a Congress
and you're talking about scruples.
Okay, calm down, 1 second. I just want to bring in Mr.
Rahul, this is
yeah, M.R. Venkatesh, 1 second. I'm coming to you. I'm just going to go back once again
I
to
took the name of Mukesh Ambani. Why are you offended?
No, 1 second.
Why is BJP getting so offended?
I'm saying don't blame this government. You are naming my Prime Minister. I think you're leader and you have no credibility left.
Oh. Okay,
you
1 second.
Gentlemen,
1 second. Let's not make this a two-man claim. No, let's not make this.
You are increasing your credibility.
Claims.
Gentlemen, 1 second.
By snoozing up to Ambani's and Adani's,
I need to take some big breaking news that is coming in on this show, and I want to bring in Mr. Pinaki Mishra. 1 minute, gentlemen, please.
By rubbing shoulders.
Okay,
you
1 second. 1 second.
Ad nauseum.
1 second.
There are no takers.
You know, there is no room here for guerrilla tactics. So just 1 second. 1 second.
Oh yes, you will come to know about that, sir, very soon.
Mr.
Don't
Khaitan,
be so arrogant.
Mr. Khaitan, 1 second. We'll come to your points. Let's 1 second. Let's just hold back for 1 minute. Breaking news coming in. NewsX has learned that Radha S. Timlo, a mining baron from Goa, has faced legal heat before and was investigated for connections with Pakistan. Believe it or not, sources have told NewsX that Timlo's purchase of mines in Goa was not via original bidding, rather through an intermediary who after the sale migrated to Pakistan. That's the real twist in this tale. This is what Radha Timlo has had to say after she was named by the government in the Supreme Court. Let's play out that reaction, and I want to come quickly across to Pinaki Mishra.
No comment. I gave my explanation, and once I see the affidavit, and I will come back with a proper explanation and a press note.
Well, she's keeping it very above board. She says, look, I will assess the affidavit first. I will see what the case against me is, and then I will respond, which is, of course, her won't. Professor Madhav Nalapat, yes.
You know, I simply want to make a point, Rahul, which should not be allowed to go away.
Okay.
That is, a lot of this money in Swiss accounts comes from the Hawala route. And the Hawala route is controlled by the ISI, it's controlled by the narcotics trade, it's controlled by terror funding networks. Now, many so-called respectable people use these same ISI networks to transfer their money abroad, and which is why every single dollar abroad is potentially money which funds terrorism.
That's a very, very important point that has been made. Pinaki Mishra, you know the law better than I do. one of the reasons why people think it's good for them to root out this money through Hawala is because they can round trip it back into this country through participatory notes. Now, we haven't had a step taken towards blocking this off. Why?
Yeah, there's no... No, look, let me first mention this to you as a lawyer. As a lawyer, I know what the problem government is facing. The 700 names are the result of a stolen data by an officer of, an official of HSBC. And the Swiss government who's then sold it to the government of France, and the government of France in turn has given it out to all the other governments, including India. The Swiss government has said that this stolen data is not something that they can act upon unless the government in individual cases points out the illegalities. So therefore, it is incumbent upon the government of India now to sift through the grain from the chaff, as it were, go through each of these 700 names, and many of these names will be legitimate NRIs who are entitled to hold accounts abroad, who have businesses abroad. So let's not tar them all with the same brush.
Can I ask you more fundamental points?
The Indians who are holding accounts, who are not entitled to hold
one second. Can I ask you a more fundamental question? Pinaki Mishra.
Rahul, just 2
Don't
points.
tell me what is an excuse, please.
1 second. Mr. Khaitan, 1 second. I'm coming out to you. Don't worry. We also have MR Venkatesh. We have enough people.
Absolutely, it's an excuse.
1 second, Mr. Khaitan. I'm coming to you.
And give me a chance, I will prove how it is an excuse.
I will. I'll bring you back. I'll bring you back into this. 1 second. You see, there are 2 or 3 things, Mr. Mishra, and I want you to elucidate on this. I mean, you belong to the BJD. You're in the opposition, therefore, but for a moment, wear your lawyer's hat and elucidate on some of this. The United Nations Convention Against